welcome to this episode. This time we'll be putting more bits back on the Impreza that's obviously behind me on the ramp. So I haven't got a dead set plan of how I'm going to film this and which bits. It'd be real nice in an ideal world to film a section and say that's the front suspension, and then film another section and that would be the rear suspension. But because I know that we've got some bits that are maybe missing or we're not quite sure we need yet, all we're going to do is keep bolting bits on until we can't bolt more bits on. So what I mean by that is we're going to probably start at the front suspension. If we find we've got some bits missing or something needs replacing, then we'll obviously put that bit on hold, all of the parts, and then we'll still try and progress with the rear and keep progressing with the rear until we run out of parts, and hopefully by then the parts will be in for the other bit. So all we're going to do is keep trying to put bits on the car until it's complete. We are going to leave a few jobs for the time that we haven't got anything to do because maybe we're waiting for parts. I know that the interior can go back together where we stripped it all out for the gearbox, so obviously that can go on a day that we run out of work. And also there is all of the wings at the front, the headlights at the front, and the bumpers at the front. So all that sort of stuff can get done independently of if the suspension is missing bits or whatever. So that's... And we've still got the project of stripping all of the drive shafts down, painting all the bits, putting new CV joints on, CV boots on, and making them look new. So that's a project in its own. So that probably will be a video, but what I'm saying is we've left that to one side. So if one day we can't get anything done, we will be picking up the drive shafts. So at the minute, the first job we're going to do now is put the fuel tank back on that you would have seen me paint or painted in the last episode. So before that goes on, we've got to put these brake pipes back on. They live above the fuel tank. So if you ever need to change these, it's a big job to get to them, because to get the fuel tank out, you have to take all the diff out and everything. So it's a big job. So all we've done is basically took the original ones, cleaned off all the black paint, and they've come up really well, surprisingly. So what happened was with the, I don't know if you can see, I've had to put a new nut on here. Here's if it'll focus. I think it'll focus. We had to put a new nut on because it was so hard to get the old ones out. They got damaged and mangled. In the end, knowing that we were going to get new flexies, because the flexies come off here to the calipers at the back, we knew we were going to get new flexies, so we actually in the end cut this off, the flexi off, took it out, and I dealt with it out the car. And by the time we got it out, this nut was completely mangled. So what we done is I filed the flare off the pipe, put the new nut on, and then put a new flare back on. So it saved these two pipes, because from Subaru these are nearly £100 each. So that's quite a good investment of time just to repair it and put a new nut on. Yes, it will probably be maybe a couple of mils short, but I'm still fairly sure that if we have to, we can slightly tweak this bend and get it to meet where we need to. So that's the next job. We'll get this in now, and then we'll move on from there. Right, as you can see, got the fuel tank in. Paul's connected all the fuel pipes up. These are the ones that go through the car to the engine. So the next job after this is there is a canister, a carbon canister here. I think it's something to do with venting the fuel tank. So that's one job to do, and also obviously we've got the filler neck pipe to go on here and the filler neck breather there. We've got to put them in, so that will go up here. We have got a bit of an issue because when taking it off, we did actually damage one of the mounting points. If I can get the camera to focus, Yeah, there you go. So that's that one. That one got a little bit bent, so that wants it drilling out and then straightening up, and then obviously give it a bit of coat of paint because it looks manky. Oh, and look, some more black Schwartz to clean off as well. Every clip, pipe and everything's got some of that black stuff on. I suppose it's a blessing in disguise in some ways. It's probably kept the car good, but on the other hand, for restoring it, everything needs cleaning with a black gunk off before we can paint it or see the condition of it. So, but that is the next job to do. Right, so here I am inside the car. The whole of the fuel system, as you'll see, is all in. So the filler neck's all in and the fuel tank's in. I have just put about a couple gallons of fuel in it. I'm just about to connect the last cables up, and all I want to do is cycle the fuel pump until we can get some pressure in the system. I don't want to start the engine because there's lots of sensors and that we haven't finished reconnecting, so I don't want to make any mistakes on that. But I don't think it'd do any harm cycling the fuel pump a few times, build it up to pressure, check for leaks. Anything obvious, obviously, we can do now. If we waited till the end and there was a leak and it was something in here, it would be a nightmare to sort out. So the idea of this is just checking what I can. There's always going to be a little bit where you might, when the engine starts, there might be, but you've got to do what we can now. So this is where we're to. So I'm going to plug these in, and then hopefully I will let you hear the difference between the fuel pumps when they're pumping air and the fuel pumps when they're pumping fuel, and then we'll know the system's up to pressure. Right, here we go. So we've got the key, so hopefully we'll just put this on the first stage and hopefully we can hear pumps. I've kind of got you microphoned in the back a little bit. I'm pretty much hanging off the bottom of my ramp. My little feet are like this. So if I look like I'm going red, it's because my legs are dangling like that. So, right, let's see if it goes bang. Flat as a pancake. Best laid plans. Well, maybe we'll leave that for next week because I want to get the video out and proper flat. While I was rooting around in the back of this one, I think I might have found my STIs are becoming a little bit more common. The sweet, sensual sounds, Barry White. Nice. On that note, thumbs up, like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you on the next one. Cheers.